items. First thing, LT has an update on the facilities. I just want to give an update on what the summer projects, where we are with them, and just the overall update.
So good evening, everyone. I'm happy to be here this evening. Have the pleasure of talking about the overall building cleanliness and readiness for August 11th. Kick off the building freshmen at East West Domestic Science Academy, Proviso Roof Project, the Proviso main office flooring and painting update, and the August 11th beginning opening. Next slide, please. Starting off with Proviso East High School, you'll notice on the far left, this is inside the student cafeteria. We've completed deep cleaning, pretty much about 85 to 90% of the building. We were waxing floors, getting into bathrooms and corridors, and making sure they are ready for August 11th. The hood system in the kitchen has been all tested and back online. There's no further work needed in that space. The auditorium seating repair is ongoing. We repaired about 28 seats in there. We plan to do another 28 next month. We attempted to do this work to make sure that we're keeping up with the wear and tear inside the main auditorium at Proviso East High School. The cooling tower preventative maintenance work was completed. We did have to order some heavy chemicals to get that work done. And the state boiler inspection is scheduled for August 4th, right before we open school on August 11th. We do not see any issues with passing the test. We're very experienced with this work, and we're ready to show up and show out for the inspector when he comes in. August 11th, parents will be on site, and we will have the buildings ready for our students and parents on that day.
Not just East, but all the buildings.
Yes, sir. The next slide is a little bit on the Proviso West. This is the main office work. You see here on the far right, there's a picture of the brand new paint on the walls, also the brand new carpet in the space. We also added some accents to the office. That is a second picture from the right to the left, right there with the red paint. The deep cleaning over there is going well, roughly 90% completed with the building cleanliness at Proviso West High School. The remaining 10% is students, summer school student classroom. Kitchen hood cleaning is done over at Proviso West High School. The main office work is roughly 95% done. There's some more painting in that space we need to take care of, and there's some more moving in and moving out because that space is going to be used at a different capacity in a few months, in a month or so. Same thing over at Proviso West. The cooling tower has been completely preventative maintenance. We're changing our filtration devices and making sure the building is healthy related to breathing inside the space. The boiler inspection is also scheduled for August 4th at Proviso West. In the E132 flooring and counter build out, we plan to get this work on to kick off Thursday or Friday this week with a completion date of about August 6th to make sure that that office space is ready for August 11th for Mr. Christian and his team over at Proviso West. Moving on to the next one.
So just as a reminder, we are repurposing the main office. The current main office that you know at Proviso West is going to be the counseling suite. So we'll be able to put all of our counselors into one spot. They'll have a conference room that they can use. We're trying to make it more friendly for students because with this new role, we are going to be scheduling days, or I should say weeks, where students by grade level will be going to meet with their counselors. This way I can ensure that students are meeting with counselors at least 4 times a year. We're also making it more more parent friendly and visitor friendly, where the main office is going to be an area where it's easier for them to get to. The principal, talking with Jeremy, he doesn't foresee himself using that office space very much, but he still wants to have a place to meet parents. He very much just seems to be, he has a desire to be in the halls and in the classrooms, and it's kind of why we're there. So we're redesigning the space for him. The main office is now going to be right when you walk into the visitors door where Shirley McGee was. That's where the main office is going to be, and reuniting all the office staff workers that are traditionally in the office, the office staff, registrar, everyone being back in that same place and making it easier for parents. So again, that also is right next to the attendance office. So it's just a better flow to get traffic to exactly where they need to be without having them enter deeply into the school.
The next item for Proviso West is the roof replacement. This was a project that was heavily needed. The work is going well. We have the ROE scheduled for roughly August 5th. We're hoping to better that time frame. We have spoken to Steve Morgans and his team over at the ROE, which is at West 40 here on 5th Avenue in Lexington. to make sure we have full occupancy on or around the 11th of August, to make sure that we're ready for student and parents. We don't foresee any issues with this. The project is going well. The last one is Math and Science Academy. There's beautification work happening here over too. Deep cleaning, disinfecting bathrooms, getting into all the corridors, kitchen hood cleaning. Door one, where our students enter, we want to make sure that we got our rugs out and got them extracted and steam cleaned, because the power washing process over the last few years has not been working out so great. Item number 4, the boiler test from the state's fire marshal will be August 4th as well. The elevated category 1 pressure test is due on the 23rd, which is tomorrow. How the elevator will be here to certify the elevator and make sure we're ready to go come August 11th. We don't foresee any issues at Math and Science Academy or East or West. Open the buildings around August 11th and also for registration. I believe we're in a great place, and we'll make sure that the building principals have what they need to open the buildings. Any questions?
I just wanted to give you a quick update on some of the policy work that we're doing. So the Math and Science Academy, first we looked at doing the Proviso Math and Science Academy transfer policy. Task force this shifted to an MSA because we want to discuss East and West MSAs as well. We've been able to have full meetings of each of the task forces. So I mentioned before, because of the number of participants, we, being over 50, we decided to have 3 separate task forces. One in the morning, one in the afternoon, one in the evenings. I've made all 3 of those at least once now, and getting some good information. But it's going a little slow, but we still hope to have this done before the school year. It is looking like there is an appetite for students to be transferred out if they're not succeeding in the MSA programs, but we're also talking about what are those interventions that would be mandatory for students and how long we will be having that type of probationary period before making a recommendation to go back to their home school. So that is continuing. We have another one that's starting. This is the facility management task force application to do today, and you can go and see how many people apply. And getting that work as well. This I do foresee us taking a couple months, but well before the winter, having a policy finalized and brought to you for review. Moving over to Dr. Hill, these items will be seen at the next board meeting. So this is just a preview of some upcoming items.
Good evening, everyone. So first up is the PACE budget. So every year, the superintendent must present to our board what the PACE budget would be for the upcoming year. As you know, PACE is our out-of-district placement. Its services are some of our students here from Proviso are being serviced at the PACE Center, PACE High School, and PACE Transition. And this year, their anticipated budget for Proviso District 209 is $9,331,148. This is the amount that we have set aside that we will be approving for PACE. Are there any questions regarding that?
Is there more or less than the
Yes, so this is more, a 4.5% increase, and that's due to the staffing percentage based on their cost of living increases that this year.
I will say our new director, Vanessa Schmidt, is very keen to this and is looking into this, and we'll make some recommendations to see if there is a possibility to bring some of those students back in-house. We just want to make sure, we want to make decisions that are best for the which is best for budget. So that's some of the work that we're looking to do.
And then also over the years, the number of students enrolled has significantly increased as well. So 22-23, we had about 167 students. 23-24, we had about 186 students. And Ms. Schmidt, do you know what the number was for this year?
As of today, we are at 174. It was projected to be at 171. So we had,
Some movement.
3 more over the summertime. And
So-
they've been moving.
And you might recall when Dr. Rossi was presenting some budget information to you all, we did point out that we are 4 times the average for the school district in the amount of out-district placements that we have here. So it's an area that we know that we need to look at. Any other questions here? So you will see this again as an information item at effective August 8th. Next is the cost limitation compliance resolution.
Right, so in reference to the administrative cost limitation, if you recall, during the month of May, we did our amended budget. So ISB had an opportunity to review the amended budget, and they wanted us to make a change. That change entailed, they want to make sure that our amended budget is aligned to our annual financial statement. And so the recommendation for us from ISB was based because we were within a 10% variance. We were at 7%, we need to be at 5%. We were at 5% on the administrative cost worksheet, but it did not align to the AFR. So the change they recommended for us was to do a resolution and do an inter transfer from an administrative account to a non-administrative account. And that amount would be in the amount of $75,000. And that would take place as an action item during the August board meeting. And then we would submit the information back to ISB, and then they would give us a seal of approval, and I've been in communication with them for the past couple of weeks. Are there any questions regarding that?
Okay, moving over up to Alex, give you an update on summer school.
So we are into session 2 in summer school right now. Session 1 ended right before the July 4th holiday. Session 2 is July 11th and ending the 31st. To date, currently, so we're looking at Proviso West here first. We had approximately 537 students registered. You'll kind of see session 1 and session 2 as far as the average daily attendance, and then there were a significant number of students dropped this summer due to that low enrollment and that threshold set if students were not attending and were subsequently dropped from summer school. There were also original credit opportunities there. In addition to that credit recovery, there is a majority of credit recovery at both East and West. The original credit is less. On the staffing side, just kind of giving an update as far as how many teachers we have in session 1 and 2. We've typically always staffed session 1 a little higher, given that there's just less students needed in session 2. So you'll see that drop in number of teachers. And looking at that average class size, given the amount of teachers we had, is a lower number of students set at 20 there at Proviso West. On the achievement side, as far as students are recovering credits, so we're seeing session 1 at just under 200, session 2 a little over 100, for about 300 credits recovered there on the credit recovery side versus the original credit, those students earning that original credit in driver's ed. We'll say there and just kind of note the number of credits being recovered and looking at how many students are taking this compared to the number of failures that we have. There are a significant number of failures, and though we've been using credit recovery through Ingenuity, we are closely looking at that method for summer school and what that will kind of look like for the future. There just is with online learning, I think we all know that there's a genuine concern just as far as how much information is being retained and mastered. So that's something we're closely looking at. Proviso East is similar there as far as that enrollment and the courses being offered, same thing with the enrichment. What was not mentioned on the other side with West, we also have some enrichment activities there for our students, and we also have the ESY, that extended school year students also participating in that. As far as staff and instruction, again, you can kind of see that average class size just right around where Proviso West was, and also the number of credits, again, being earned on the credit recovery side, and our graduation, and I'm trying to remember the graduation date offhand, but I believe that information is being sent out if it has not been sent out already. I don't have the date, I'm not gonna be able to find it right now. We'll make sure the board knows that for the number of students and the date, and we'll get the invitations out, because that is around the corner there. Any questions on summer school?
I do have a quick question. Staffing and support at East has counselors and aides and deans and social workers. And if you go back to West, you only
It
have.
wasn't listed, sorry, yeah, we have the same support there as far as those counselors, those aides, the deans, the social workers, and the facilitator. So it was not listed on the slide.
And so for West, if I am interpreting the number correctly, the enrollment is 50% of the original, the current enrollment?
So yeah, that enrollment dropped from session 1 to session 2.
And that's, I mean, that happens.
Yeah.
Students only register for one session.
Yeah, and just, yeah, number of credits meeting, how many classes are covered in that session 1. There's a number of factors that play in to that drop there.
So I know I've said this before, and maybe say it a little bit more firmer. I am significantly concerned with our system that we have in place to recover credits. Because while I do think it's recovering credits, I don't know if it's recovering skills. And it's causing students to then go into the next level of course and significantly struggle because they're challenged, right? And so I'm not sure right now if online credit recovery is the best for every single student. The student has struggled and failed in class with a physical teacher in the classroom. Online learning is sometimes even better for students. So we have to take a hard look at this and figure out what it is that we're doing. I'm also very concerned around our freshman on-track numbers, being in the 50s, and our graduation rate being in the 50s. Research would show you that typically your freshman on track is tightly aligned to your graduation rates. I'm seeing the disconnect here, and so we have to figure out why that is and what is happening. I'm with curious, right? So I don't really, not as concerned about the state report card or some of these numbers. I'm more concerned around efficiency and skills. And so that's what we truly as a district is what we like to focus on, making sure when a student does graduate with this diploma from our school district, they truly have mastered the skills and standards that it takes to be a high school graduate, according to the Illinois Learning Standards. So that's our focus. That's something we're going to work intensively on in the next couple years. Any questions on summer school?
So looking at staffing, you'll see some asterisks in there listed, and we do have a number of personnel on our personnel report, but these are our current vacancies as of right now at East and West and the Math and Science Academies. So see it, still have some vacancies even after this personnel report comes through. There are with world language and math. You can see math as well at PMSA. With Proviso West, you can see a number of anticipated, if pending board approval later on tonight, with a number of positions with even just one vacancy for special education.
And I do want to point out, we are in a significantly better position than we have been in prior years. As noted in previous board meetings, we've done a lot of work in regards to ensuring that our diverse learners, as well as our EL and bilingual learners, have the adequate number of staffing in front of them to ensure that we're in compliance and that we're supporting our students. And so many of these vacancies that you see here are the additions to ensure that we have that coverage for our students to meet the students' needs. We're also making sure that we're taking proactive measures, as Mr. Ash alluded to ensure that we have coverage for these classes for the start of the school year so that we have a certified teacher in place, by any means to support our students. But we are in a significantly better situation, though while you see vacancies up here, for those of you that have been on the board for some years now, this is a reduction in the past years. And many of these positions are very difficult to fill positions. There is a nationwide shortage in bilingual education teachers, as well as our ESL teachers, and in addition to that, math teachers. So our hiring managers for this are proactively going through every applicant, conducting interviews, and seeking out the best candidates to put in front of kids.
I want to thank just a couple of people looking over across from us. Mr. Caliaris has done an exceptional job working on our EL, bilingual, ESL certifications, reaching out and scouring the earth, literally the earth, for applicants. Ms. Schmidt has jumped right on board. Ms. McIntosh at Proviso East is working hard. Ms. Albans as well has been helping out extensively with this, as well as the entire HR office that is just working through everything. So again, thank you, Bill.
And thank you for, you guys did approve us, an MOA with the union to allow for the ISB international teachers for the ISPA program. And Jim is going to the airport on Thursday to pick up that teacher from state. and we have 3 more that are coming. So we're, as Bill said, we are in a better situation, but we're not there yet. There is a strong likelihood that at the August board meeting, we're gonna put a memo, we're gonna slide a memo into the agenda in case we have to do a virtual classroom. And I do not like it. It will be the very last resort. I have pushed back on adding this to the agenda as long as I can. But if we have to do this, again, it is the last resort. The union knows that. My team knows that. I want you to know that. We would do it until we can.
And even with that, I'll add one caveat, just to slide this in there. If we are going that route, making sure that we have someone in the room speaking the native language that students can talk and work with, that's something that Mr. Kalias has been paying very, very, very close attention to. So we have, if that we go that route, we are planning ahead already with that.
With a paraprofessional.
With a qualified paraprofessional that is bilingual. Yes.
Any questions?
Yeah, not a question for you. A couple of years ago, I remember asking the question, are we recruiting from HBCUs? Are we?
So we are not directly in talks with HBCUs. I think working with Dr. Alvarez, who's coming on now, as well as working with this team, it is something that we can expand to and look into making sure that we're reaching out to every possible avenue to attract teachers.
Well, also this board took some courageous actions at the last board meeting to exit some employees from the HR department that have open positions. So we're at a point now where we can start stacking up. We're looking to hire an HR director, and so that would be in addition to the HR coordinator. Right now, Bill is running the HR. And so that is a lot for him. And as we're able to bring on more staff, we can do this sort of things that other districts can do to attract other teachers.
Thank you.
Moving on.
So with teacher and student schedules, so staff contractually, we are obligated to send teachers their schedules by this Friday, the 4th Friday in July, which is this Friday. So we are prepared to send that information. The teachers will receive that before this Friday, if not as early tomorrow, if anyone is watching. Master schedules, we are very pleased with all of the buildings' work around master schedules. So just trying not to go in the weeds, but as far as the building of the schedule, making sure the classes, we have the correct number of classes, that was built to 100% with all of our schools. So a great piece of work by our counselors, by our administrators on that. And then the load as far as dropping in students to make sure that they have a successfully built schedule was at 97% for both Proviso East and West and Proviso Math and Science Academy was just over that. So we are very pleased with where that stands right now. We have several counselors on staff working very hard this summer on just checking student schedules, double checking our EL placements, our special education placements, and working to make sure that that is accurate for all of our students. The schedules are right now hidden from students. They're not viewable to students yet. We'll make sure that that is viewable once we are confident that all of the schedules are accurate. And I think that's it.
Any questions? So I just want to thank Alex and Bill and the team around this. Proviso as a district has come a long way in scheduling. Dr. Curtis and I remember when we were not that. We were in different roles, but we were keenly aware of the struggles of this district. So kudos to Alex and Bill and principals and John Woodson, who really played an active role in helping us get to this point. Towards the rest of the gym, helping us with our study. And awesome. Moving on, the next we have approval items. And I just asked, as you guys have your agendas, these are things that we've talked through already. We've presented to you in house or in board meetings. They've been in board updates. But if there's anything on these approval items that you'd like to talk through or have questions about, we'd be happy to discuss them with you. The one thing that I added that is new, I don't think it is controversial. What did I do?
Do you want me to? It's not a. This is I downloaded this one, so if you just added it.
No, it's there. I just got it.
Oh.
That one, yes. So I do want to I want to get an approval of the committee of the whole meetings for the entire year, on the schedule, get them on the website. So this is typically the Tuesday, 2 weeks before any board meeting. The ones that are asterisk are 1 week before a board meeting, and we're doing that because of holidays, whether it's Thanksgiving, or the break, or the Christmas break, or winter break, or spring break. So those meetings, with those cows would be 1 week before the board meeting. It's based on. Yes, that's all right.
So the one in September is 3 weeks between the board meeting. Will you send this out?
Yeah, I'll send it out.
Right.
And we'll, I'll send it to you, we'll update it, if there's any errors, then we'll update it. We'll start doing meeting invites for board meetings, and meeting invites for these, committee of the whole meetings as well. So it's on your calendars, I will make it very clear when closed session is starting and when open session is starting.
Oh, this is only the cow.
These are only the counts. The board meetings already are on the website.
So we'll have 3 meetings in January.
That's correct.
Got it.
And I can't remember why, but there was a reason. Oh, because of the 1/6, we pushed that because it would otherwise it was going to be
During winter.
12:30. I don't think anyone else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I guess, could we remove one if we deem it
Like that first January.
We can look at the agenda and see how
Coming
active it is.
around November.
like,
See if we get it.
yeah, like,
I think we should put it on the calendar, like hold it and then.
We can always
need
cancel
to-
that's fine. But 3 meetings in January is not ideal.
But if we
We
had
could
a
mark
full
the
agenda,
agenda, I think.
What was that?
We could have our full agenda.
We can look, right? And if there's a possibility where we don't need to meet, we can do it through weekly board updates, we'll do that. But we just want to hold these dates in case we do want to bring you guys in and have these conversations. And that is all I have.
Go to, may I have a motion to approve the July 22nd, 2025 personnel report, including the hiring, resignations, separations, vacant positions, and leaves of absence?
Second.
Ms. Hutchins, please call the roll. For discussion, any discussion? Hearing none, will you call the roll?
Ms. Molinaro,
Aye.
Mrs. Todd, Ms. O'Hara.
Aye.
Ms. Morris. Dr. Bishop.
Aye.
Ms. Waterman.
Aye.
Ms. Smith. Aye, I'm sorry.
Any old business? Any new business?
Mr. Layers and I, we were kind of back and forth about the CEFR and the Illinois, seal of biliteracy, and he brought it up to my attention through research and investigation that the seal is equivalent to the CEFR, which is Europe and Latin America's language equivalency. It's equivalent to like B1, which is fluency. And so just curious if there's any way for any students who are interested in taking the B1 exam for say Spanish or French, if the district might be able to provide that. Because like say if they want to get a job overseas, having that is more internationally recognized than the United States. This is just a thought, something that will help our students in the future.
We can look into that. I'll pass Jim that.
Yeah, I'm not really familiar with that exam,
We-
so that's
yeah, we
something we
can-
can look into and see if it's something that we could offer our students.
Yeah, there's institutions all across the city and county that offer like the consulates.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah,
do
that
that.
sounds very cool.
Yeah.
Well, they can include you.
Please and thank you.
Any other,
Also thoughts about your own school. That's another.
your own school would be.
Are you serious?
Yes, 100%. Because the data shows that in the summer students have drop right?
Yeah.
And looking at our summer school concerns and thinking of graduation and keeping freshmen on track, if there's less lag during the summer, right, but more time breaks that are research and data backed, maybe we can help mitigate some of those.
Was it the summer slide?
Yeah.
So I led a school that was year round. And so it's still the same 176 days of instruction, but you had, like the way we structured it, we had a 2-week fall break, we had a 3-week winter break, we had a 2-week spring break, and then we had a 6-week summer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it
Did
wasn't
you
bad.
start later then? Did you have more like outdoor time that
We
like?
didn't have any more outdoor time, and the teachers actually loved it because the travel was for some of those time periods.
Yeah, because they were on off season, right?
I think it's something we could look at. I would love to also look at a late start. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so when I was a superintendent in Ohio, I switched to a late start. And there were a few hiccups, but we made it through and we saw significant improvements with our students.
I mean, all the data.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
so just bringing that up.
Well, let's talk, I'll talk to her with the executive cabinet and figure out a structure of how we can start engaging these conversations.
In like if the community's not there, or, I'm more than happy to drop it, but just at least exploring the idea.
Yeah.
I like exploration.
Anything else? All in favor of adjourning?
Aye.
All right.
Thanks, everyone.
That's it. We're.